Have you ever wondered why we keep eating the same foods all the time? I have a couple of tips for you this week as we go into our meal planning Monday on the Ozarks Journal Homestead. Come on along for the trip. So, last week we talked about how once you make a menu, it doesn't all have to, it's not written in stone. Thus my erasable pen. And you'll see a couple of places where I did erase. And things got moved around. We never did get to meatloaf. And I did have the protein platters. I don't remember what we did in place of this or the fried pork chops. We did not do the ribs, mac and cheese, and baked beans. But partly because, number one, we were supposed to be gone on Thursday night, and I wrote this in primarily because when we have to be gone, I'm not going to tell you my house is going to be empty. And I wish so many of you would think about that. This is the internet. There are trolls. When you write down or you tell us that you're going to be gone on a specific day for whatever reason, you're unlocking the door to your home. With or without a key, you are unlocking the door to your home and letting the trolls of internet know that you will not be home. So don't do that, people. Be safe. Be smart about what you post, okay? That's my tip for today. Okay, now, second of all, I had fried chicken written down for today as I'm recording this on Sunday. But sometimes your meal planning can change based on a sale that pops up, and recipes hit your head and you want to try them. They sound, because there's something you've not done in a while, if ever. This past week, I hit a sale on skinless, boneless chicken thighs, and I have been waiting for that sale forever so that I could put up teriyaki chicken. Now, I want to say it's Linda's Pantry, but I could be wrong, that has a great canning recipe for teriyaki chicken. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll post a link in the description box below. It may or may not be Linda's. I don't have the pantry room. Of course, I really don't have the freezer room either right now to put up anything else in jars. But I did want to do the teriyaki chicken, so I picked up about 8 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs this week, and I knew that something was going to change today because I had thought about doing Bob's potluck, or I know what I'm thinking, his pot roast for next week, and I looked at the pot roasts at the grocery store, and they were just absolutely horrible. So I asked Bob if he wanted to do fried chicken for Sunday, or if he wanted to do teriyaki chicken, and he said, let's do Chinese. So I'm like, okay. So I cubed up the chicken thighs, and I had 2-gallon bags of chicken thigh chunks, and just for a little extra, the chicken thighs are always moist, but for a little extra, I put them in a gallon bag. Excuse me while I drink my coffee. Maybe it'll iron out my tongue. And I marinated it in buttermilk overnight. Then this morning, Sunday, I got up, I rinsed it good, and I divided it up into 1-pound packages, put it in food saver bags with 1/8 of a cup of Masterpiece honey teriyaki sauce, mushed it all up good and got it all massaged into the chicken thigh meat, sealed it up in the food saver bag, flattened them out and put them in the freezer. I have 7 1-pound bags of teriyaki chicken now in the freezer, ready to thaw, dump, stir fry, and go. Okay? I saved out one of the poundish plus, and that was dinner for Sunday for today. So, just right after I finish recording this, I'm going to be doing teriyaki chicken with rice. I brought home a quart of egg drop soup because I just cannot make it the way they do in the Chinese buffets. It just doesn't work. And then I'm surprising Bob with some garlic mushrooms. He loves those at the buffet. He also loves the stuffed, and he wanted to know if I was going to make him some stuffed mushrooms with the crab rangoon filling. And I says, nope, I got a different idea for you. So I know I wanted those, but I'd already bought the white button mushrooms for those. And if I was going to do the stuffed, I would use Bella mushrooms or baby Bella mushrooms, which brings me to my other buy and what I'm working on now. I bought six 1-pound packages of baby Bella whole mushrooms, and I bought 3 8-ounce packages of baby Bellas. Last night I put 3 of the 1-pound packages, I cleaned them, sliced them up, and put them in the dehydrator. I was completely out of Bella mushrooms, and I didn't want to risk the chance of them going up in price before I could restash. And I'm home this week, and one of the things I try to do, and I'm going to talk about Energy Saver in another video, but very quickly, we are headed into summer, which means at some point the AC is going to be running. We did finally turn it on day before yesterday for a while. But once I start running the air conditioner, because it will run 24/7, I will not be running my dehydrator. So I'm trying to get as much stuff dehydrated and in the pantry as I can before I have to start running the AC. So I did 3 pounds last night. My 7 tray will hold 3 pounds, basically 3 pounds of mushrooms. And I will do the other 3 pounds tonight before I go to bed, and they can go in a half-gallon jar. And then I'm just left with 2 or 3 8-ounce packages. Now, I did break into one of those today. We had planned to go into town to an auction, and there wasn't anything there. It looked like our auction will look in 30 years. Nothing that we needed at the auction. And we like going to auctions. So instead, I had to go by the grocery store and pick up things for what we call Jack's Dip. And I'll share that recipe at another time. But it's a really quick and easy dip to have on hand. Just chips and dip for you, and it's a very high protein. So we went to the grocery store and we're like, you know, what do we want to do for lunch? Do you want to grab something? And my sugar was telling me I needed to eat. But Mountain View has limited places to eat. Bob and I, neither one care for McDonald's, except I do love their French fries, you know, something I shouldn't have in mass quantity. We have a Taco Bell, which is a hit or miss as to whether the food is decent. And that's all that's open pretty much on Sundays. So that was kind of out. Now, I ate out yesterday twice while I was in town. I left here bright and early yesterday morning to go to the farmer's market, and they didn't have what I was looking for. So I thought I'd try out a restaurant for breakfast that we ate out Thursday night on somebody else's dime, and the food was good. So I thought, well, I'll go try them for breakfast. The food was horrible. I don't know how that place stays so packed. I mean, a table is barely cleared and wiped down before there's people coming in the door and taking it up. But the food was horrible. The egg, I had an omelet. I had a 3-meat omelet, and I added green peppers and onions. The omelet part was great, the egg. But inside, everything was charred to a crisp. You couldn't eat it. I had asked for the sausage gravy. You had to hunt to find the sausage in the gravy. And she assured me that was not their white pepper gravy. That was the sausage gravy. It had no flavor. And the homemade bread toast, which I was really excited for because you almost never find that in a restaurant, apparently had been toasted on the grill, and it was charred around the edges. So, yeah. So I got the shopping done that I needed at 10 Box Grocers, which is part of Harp's Grocery, if you have a Harp's near you. And then I went to a Chinese buffet that we have loved in the past. And the food had absolutely no flavor. I've come to the point where yesterday I burned $40 on food I could not eat, and I've decided that's enough. I'm just not going to do it anymore. So we decided not to eat out, and I thought, well, what about mushroom and Swiss burgers? I have the Bella mushrooms at home that we could use. So all we did was pick up an Encore Salisbury steak patty dinner that has 6 patties and gravy in it for under $4. We've always enjoyed making sandwiches out of them. Brought those home, and I made mushroom and Swiss burgers for lunch. It was a quick change from what are we going to do for lunch today. So, brings me to where we're at. I am doing the Chinese for dinner today. Now, here's something to think about. Can you believe we are going into the month of May already. Tomorrow will be April 28th. We have the 29th, 30th, 31st, and then Thursday, May Day, is the 1st of May. So, let's start with Tuesday. That's an easy, well, Monday is an easy one because I always do, whoops, I can't move that out of the way, can I? Let me see if I've messed that up. There we go. I was going to move it right, but I can't move it out of your screen, can I? Monday is always oatmeal. That's a given. Okay? And Tuesdays, I'm thinking a breakfast sandwich. And partly because I thought out some of that deli ham, and I think a sandish, there we go. I'm thinking a ham, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich just sounds yummy. I still haven't had my pancakes, so I'm thinking Wednesday morning is going to be pancakes and ham steak. Now, Bob has a breakfast that he loves when we go out. It's hash browns, eggs, and sausage gravy. So I think I will make a Bob platter for Friday morning. Now, Thursday, I can say I'm going to be gone because Bob will be home to hold down the fort and take care of the animals. This is May Day, and I'm going to go into Poplar Bluff and surprise a friend of mine for May Day. So we will probably do breakfast sandwiches here too. And then Saturday for breakfast, let's do a scrambled eggs and cheese. And then Sunday will be, I've got quiche left. Maybe we'll just see what's left from here. I'll eat my quiche, or I can make Bob a quiche. Let's do that. I'll make Bob a quiche, and then I'll have my leftover quiche on Sunday, because I still have, I think, 3 pieces left in the freezer. So I could make Bob a platter, and I could have my quiche. And then I'll have 2 pieces in the freezer. I'll make a quiche for both of us for Sunday. I'll eat a piece, Bob will eat a piece, and I'll put the other 2 in the freezer, and it'll pair up with mine that are in the freezer for a couple of weeks down the road. So that'll work. Now, I've already hard-boiled eggs, so I know I've got protein platters coming up, and I most always do a protein platter on Tuesday because it's something I can eat quick. And I'm also thinking I need that tuna salad in here again, so let's do tuna salad for Wednesday. Now, Bob bought himself a pizza today to have for Thursday while I'm gone, so Bob's going to have his pizza. Tomorrow, Bob has a wrap that he needs to eat, so maybe I'll have a sandwich tomorrow. I have stuff in there for a sandwich. We'll do tuna salad on Wednesday. Bob's on his own for dinner and lunch on Thursday. Friday, I can come back to my protein platter because I've got those eggs in there that I need to eat. So we'll do that, and Bob will probably have a wrap. And then I don't think anything's going on next weekend. That will be the 3rd, 4th. I'm going to leave the Saturday lunch open because there are events going on, and I think we're planning on going to one on Saturday, but I can't remember. No, we're doing that Sunday. We better plan lunch for Saturday because we are supposed, after Monday, we are supposed to have rain all week. Yay. I may never get stuff finished in the garden at this rate. Or get my warehouse cleaned out. So lunch, we've got protein platters in here a couple of days. We've got the tuna salad. I think we'll have soup Saturday. We'll have soup and grilled cheese. That'll work. That sounds good. That was the other thing I caught while I was in town yesterday. They had his chunky soups on sale. So I got him a whole bunch of his soups, and I picked up a couple for me. I'm not a big fan of soup, and Bob will eat the whole can. I'm lucky to get through a half a can, particularly if I pair it with a sandwich. And that's the other thing. When you're looking at this stuff, look at how your family eats and think about cooking in portions. Unless it's something that you can freeze for a future meal for someone who's going to be home by themselves, or you're going to be home by yourself or whatever, or on your own for dinner. Think about things that you can freeze for later, unless you want to eat leftovers for the entire week. I'm not a fan of leftovers for the entire week. I don't mind leftovers. I was raised on leftovers. So dinner Tuesday, I want to get into that. I watched Linda's Pantry, and she did a taco soup almost strictly from her Thrive Life cabinet. And I thought, now there's a cool idea. I am going to make one change. She used the Thrive Life freeze-dried kernel corn. Bob and I are not big corn eaters. So I'm going to replace that with a can of black beans. So we're going to have tortilla soup, or taco soup, for Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday after all. But I can fix it ahead of my writing schedule, drop it in the crock pot, and we can go at it all day long if we want. For dinner tomorrow, for Monday, today, I had a couple of things out that I was thinking about. I still haven't done. One of the things I want to do, and I think I will do that Wednesday, is we're going to do Chinese again. Now, we probably will not do the teriyaki chicken, but I finally found the recipe for the Chinese buffet style peanut butter chicken. And I want to do peanut butter chicken. And if I'm out Thursday, I can bring home egg drop soup. And Bob will eat the peanut butter chicken. We can do the egg drop soup. And then Bob needs something. I'll have to think about what to add in there for Bob besides the peanut butter chicken. He's not a vegetable person, so things like chicken and broccoli, beef and broccoli, those things don't trip his trigger. He does love the stuffed mushroom caps, and he does love shrimp. So let me do the shrimp, because I have shrimp I can use, and I'll make his mushroom caps. I'll have to pick up new mushrooms for that, but otherwise I've got everything. Okay, so there's... Still haven't done anything with Monday, have I? Sandwich and wrap. Monday, let's do the pork chops. Oh, I know one thing I want to do. So let's do the pork chops and scalloped potatoes. I have my sauce mixes that I got from Jenny Goff at Jen's Scratch Made Kitchen. Those sauce mixes are fantastic. I made a tater tot casserole the other night for dinner. Oh, that's what we need to clean up. We've got tater tot casserole left. I'll move this. Let's clean up the tater tot casserole tomorrow night. But I made the cheese sauce to put over our cheeseburger tater tot casserole. Normally when I do tater tot casseroles, I add a can of veg oil because that's one way I can get veggies in for Bob. But night before last, I just did it plain and simple. We just had hamburger and cheese sauce and the tater tots. Now, if Bob liked them, I might have added dill pickles, but Bob doesn't like pickles. Anything with vinegar. So we'll clean up the tater tot leftovers. That'll be tomorrow night. Okay, then Wednesday I can do the pork chops. And scalloped potatoes. And then Sunday I am going to do the fried chicken, and I'm going to put that here. And then that just leaves me having to figure out what I'm doing for Saturday. I know what I want. I want pizza, but I can't have pizza. We've already done the pizza in the crock pot. One of the things I did was I went through, I've got recipes printed out galore. And, oh, that's what we could do. I've got the 2 buns left for those. We could do the French dip croissants, and I've got croissants. let's do the French dip croissants for Saturday. I've got that beef lunch meat. And if I do this Saturday, then I have beef left over that we can do on Monday. And I'm going to flip to Monday really quick and do leftover beef. Beef something. I may just do hot beefs. We'll do that again on Monday. But I went through all my print-offs and I found stuff that I could use that I wanted to try. Slow cooker lasagna rolls. I've not done those in a while. We may throw those in next week. And they go in the crock pot, so those will be easy. One thing I have found, though, doing them in the crock pot, I have to make sure that I don't crowd them in there. Otherwise, I can't get them back out without them all coming apart. I like a shrimp salad, so I may make that one day for me. And here's the thing. One thing Bob has been really good about. We've been married almost 42 years. Now, my first husband, if he didn't like it and wouldn't eat it, I wasn't allowed to fix it. That may be partly why we were only married for 2 years. But Bob doesn't care. If you want it, make it. Go for it. If I don't like it, I won't eat it. If I haven't never had it, I'll taste it. If I don't like it, I won't eat it. He's good about that. So I can make things for me. But the 50s housewife in me tries to make sure there's something on tap for Bob. So there's that. There's cheesy chicken spaghetti. That is really awesome. So I've got some things in here I can play with for next week. But we have this week all done. The other tip I wanted to give was in cleaning my office, I found this composition notebook that I'd made and covered years ago. And I have breakfast, and I have lunches, and I have dinners, and I have snacks. I suggest that you sit down with your family and find out what they like to eat. And make a list of the foods they like, family favorites, things you haven't had in forever. And this will give you a starting point for when you're wanting to rotate those meals out. Maybe you want to do something like Taco Tuesday in some form every day. That's the other thing. Next Monday is also, I'm going to do the leftover beef here because Monday the 5th is Cinco de Mayo. So I'm going to move this over. And these will be easy for me to do on Tuesday. It's not a crock pot night. But then it's leftover, so it's still going to be quick to throw together. And since this is Cinco de Mayo, maybe we'll do taco salads. I have the taco salad bowls that I've not used the forms for in forever. So we'll do that. Okay, so get your family together, get a notebook, get a legal pad, something, and get an idea from your family what they like to eat. You may be surprised at the things they like that you haven't cooked in forever. Mom, you've not made da-da-da-da-da in forever. Or, why do we only have da-da-da on a birthday? That kind of thing. And get you a list to be working with. And I hope you'll do that. So in the meantime, I would ask that you please leave a comment down below. What is your go-to dish as a family favorite? Tell me your family favorite in the comments below. Let's get a conversation started. In the meantime, please be safe, be prepared, be blessed. Remember to hit the like and the subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye.